Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our The Witcher Season 1 Thoughts video. Just finished watching the first season of The Witcher on Netflix, and I'm just going to be sharing my general thoughts. I'm going to try and avoid any major spoilers. That being said, you never know when it comes out to my thoughts. But yeah, The Witcher Season 1 on Netflix. The Witcher follows Henry Cavill's character of Geralt? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the Witcher, who is essentially a monster hunter. He goes from town to town, just all he cares about is fighting monsters, making money, and occasionally maybe having a little company in between. But yeah, I really enjoyed the premise leading up to this. I didn't like I've said in a couple previous videos, I didn't really know anything about this except for what the trailers kind of introduced me to this world. So I was pretty curious about learning what was going on in this world. What the whole thing was. Were we just going to be following him as a monster hunter? What else was going to be going on? And so I felt this first season did a really great job of introducing us into this world, and making me very curious about it. But also, I want a little bit more, which is always a good thing for a TV show when you want more of it. But yeah, this first season did feel almost a little short. 8 episodes of kind of now the traditional length of a Netflix first season, and I felt it did a really great job of introducing us to this character of the Witcher, and giving us really great, kind of seeing the dynamic nature of this character who is an outcast, who people have always treated a certain way, and he tries to not act in the way that people think he is. And so it's really interesting. This show did a really great job, I think, of introducing us to this character and kind of giving us this kind of build up within the 8 episodes, as well as balancing a couple other storylines. We're introduced to a character named Yennefer. Again, these names are right beyond me. But yes, who is a mage, it starts off as like a mage in training, and then becomes a mage, and going on her own path throughout this season. And so that was a really interesting storyline that ended up kind of intertwining with this, along with another storyline of a princess on the run. And so I thought this show did a really great job of balancing these 3 storylines and interconnecting them in a way that makes sense for the season, and for the storyline overall, which is one thing. Going into this, I wasn't sure. I was like, what's the season going to be about? Because that's one thing about TV shows that I need is what's going to happen over the show. The first episode we learn it's okay, the Witcher's got to find this princess. Makes sense. And we spend this season with that going on, and so it was really interesting to see kind of how they played with time and timelines in this one, to be able to explore more of certain characters' timelines as opposed to other characters, which I really enjoyed. We got to explore a lot of The Witcher, got to see him on a bunch of different monster hunts, which I really enjoyed. It felt almost like I kind of actually compared it to The Mandalorian, just because that's something I'm watching right now, which is, you got this lone wolf going from town to town, completing missions in each town, and it's like, okay, this is just the magic version of that. But obviously that's also kind of this old cliche of, again, the lone wolf, the lone gunman coming into. So I really enjoyed the way this kind of took its own take on it. Like I said, I don't know if this is necessarily accurate to the books or even to the video games. It said in the trailers that this was based off the book series. They didn't even allude to the games. So I'm imagining that this is following one of the storylines from the book series, but I also have no idea if it's faithful to that, if any of it's even accurate, if anything at all, to be honest. But that's actually something I'm interested now to go learn, because this first season did a great job of introducing us to this mythology of the Witcher world, which is what I'm most curious about. We've got elves everywhere, we've got mages and wizards and all this fun stuff. They introduced doppelgangers, or shapeshifters in this at one point. I'm like, okay, and this princess got some kind of something going on. I'm like, okay, all right, you guys got me intrigued. I want to learn more about this world. So that's the thing I like. My biggest takeaway, I think, from this first season is that I'm really curious to learn more about this world that the Witcher inhabits, and that he's going around fighting monsters and kind of building up his own reputation and these different things, which I really thought that they did a really great job in this first one of hooking me in to want to be like, okay, I want to see more of this world. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what happens to the Witcher. I want to see who's going to end up winning this, Game of Thrones. I just like making that kind of joke. But that being said, it is kind of interesting to see where the political side of this kind of goes. Political, just you know, being the word of there's war going on, so that means one nation over another, or a regime over another, and so that was an interesting part, which I wasn't really expecting to be part of it, but also kind of makes sense. You don't tend to have this type of show with a lot of swords without some kind of war going on, because, well, you gotta use the swords for something besides killing monsters. But I did appreciate how much they did kill monsters in this. I could have used a few more monsters, but that's just because I'm a supernatural guy. I used to get 30. I'm used to getting 20-something episodes of monsters every season. So, but that being said, that doesn't take away from this one. I thought the quality of this was pretty well done for the most part. Some of the CGI, for the most part, the CGI I thought was really well done. There's a couple there's always one or two little things, especially for a Netflix show. But I thought overall this one did really well, and I really enjoyed all the characters who we met in this first season, despite me only be able to name like 2 or 3 of their natural names. That being said, I thought they all did a great job, and I am curious to jump back in, and I'm hoping that they make a second season for me to kind of get to know more of these characters, get to see where they go from here. But yes, that's pretty much all my thoughts for the first season without diving into too many actual spoilers. But yes, I would recommend checking out if you're into a kind of fantasy monster hunter show in a sense. Yeah, that takes place in this kind of Middle Earth-esque world, Middle Earth meaning just a fantasy type world. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if you'll be checking out The Witcher on Netflix. Yeah, be sure to let me know that in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me today. Sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.